pitching India against China, is it likely to build a kind of a bloc where Pakistan may be forced to choose sides?
No, I think the age of choosing sides probably is over.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think nations all over the world try to be members of as many regional organizations as they can be, because that's the sort of safety corner or safety corners in a globalizing world. If you do not have sort of regional protection, then you are in uncharted waters, and then you are in heavy waters. So I think if India comes in, I mean, we should welcome it. It would be good for, it would be a stimulus for trade and commerce in the region.
Right. Would you like to add something to this before I change gears slightly?
I think Pakistan's policy has been under review well before 9/11, and during the last decades we have been trying to reach out, irrespective of the governments or so, to reach out more to the other partners, specifically redesigning our relationships with Russia, from the communicating with them through different forums and trying to build a constructive network where Russia shouldn't be seeing us through the Indian eyes. And I think India has been wise on that account as well. And literally, I don't buy this argument all the time that, like you have said, that will US build India as a counterweight to China? Well, there is a debate on it within the US. So even within China there is a debate. Some see it as a threat, some see it as an additional opportunity. So let's not choose the sides. And I think, as Tanvi Sahab has very rightly pointed out, in this age of networked village network, we can't afford to change the sides, especially the developing states. And India, being by its very sheer size and its economy, and thus they are on a very healthy competitive relationship. Of course, the tensions are there with China as well. Right. So we have to look into that part as well.
Okay. So let's talk very briefly about the visits on the, the meetings on the sideline. Our Prime Minister is going to take this opportunity. He's already met the Tajik President. How do you see, and what advantage is it likely to bring?
These are very important. I mean, so far he's met the President of the host country, Tajikistan, but he's supposed to meet the Chinese leaders and the Russian leaders as well. It is linked bilaterally as well as multilaterally. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization has already approved at least 20 projects in energy, telecommunications, surface communications, roads, railways. Now, these are of vital interest to Pakistan. And what we've been talking to Tajikistan, for instance, I mean, what the Prime Minister has been talking, is of enormous importance. Already we are in the field for electricity exports from Tajikistan. It's a 900 kilometers through Afghanistan, and then it comes to Pakistan. This can be doubled and redoubled because Tajikistan's potential for hydroelectric power is enormous. We are also talking in terms of a kind of corridor which links Pakistan with Tajikistan, and then of course with
road
the entire
network as well.
With the entire Central Asia.
And I believe our Prime Minister has been invited formally
for a proper official visit. I mean, this is a multilateral visit, but certainly he would go for a bilateral visit as well. Pakistan seeks these relationships. I mean, the only thing which has really been slowing it down, I mean, there's all the goodwill in Central Asia, has been the protracted crisis in Afghanistan. As things get better, I hope they do, this would really mushroom, this would sort of blossom.
In fact, the NATO is looking for an alternate route from this side, Tajikistan and all. Anyway, would you like to add something on the meetings on the sidelines?
I think that has been very productive, and especially the coming up meetings like with the Chinese has always been very productive. And specifically, I'll be looking deeply into the Pakistan-Russia meeting on the sidelines, because we are in a phase, I think Pakistan, as both analytically and as a policy makers and opinion makers, in a phase of re-engineering our image versus Russia, and so does the Russia. There are very positive vibes coming through them, through the different forums. So I think that will be a very excellent opportunity of brainstorming, and I think our Prime Minister is well briefed on that how we need to reach out, instead of giving the same excuse that US, India is doing this, so let's do this. That's not going to work with Russia or with other countries. We have to be very constructive and be innovative how to involve them in the projects, and I think that's what we should be working on.
Let me ask you specifically, the Prime Minister's entourage includes
water and power,
and petroleum and natural resources, and of course the Foreign Secretary. So do you think this is an indication of what we are looking at?
Very clearly, yes, you have pointed out. These are the real soft aspects of security that Pakistan desperately needs. We are short of water, we are short of economic supports, and we need restructuring support. We no longer want the aids or the bullets or things like that, and we are more looking for an opportunity for trade. Let's have a trade instead of aid, and I think that's what is reflected in the makeup of the
and energy is the key issue. Energy,
yeah,
absolutely.
Because there is enormous potential for the export of electricity, and incidentally, this is a project which is solidly backed by the Americans. The Americans are trying to discourage the Pakistan-Iran gas pipeline project, and they keep on offering alternatives. This is one of the package of alternatives that includes the nexus with Tajikistan for import of hydroelectric power.
TAPI you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Right. So, since we are coming towards the end of our program, what would be your final comments on SCO and Pakistan?
I think SCO wisely is not trying to run. It's building up slowly, gradually, and it's succeeding. It has a bright future, and Pakistan is interested in it. Sooner or later, Pakistan would be a member. Even without being a member, because of the Chinese support, it's doing very well. And it certainly facilitates our relations with the other Central Asian states.
Right. So how are you going to sum it up? But then do elaborate a little bit on the advantages.
Well, I really feel that this is a testing time for our diplomacy skills and our political will, because we are going all the way. But the question is, are we able to convince them, the other side? And I find disturbing that by looking at that, Pakistan is on the waiting list. How to break that cycle and make them think of Pakistan as separate from other countries of which the Pakistan don't have that good relations. I think that is a key diplomatic challenge. And what I'm looking forward is that this is where we should be looking more, convincing, positive convincing through the constructive dialogue. And I really would see, I feel that if it had included the people from industrial side and the people from the private side as well, that it would have given more weightage to the whole sideline meetings, really. So how to, convince that, because you take along everybody rather than government to government. So Pakistan with the SCO should be eyeing more for a proactive role that moves beyond governments as well, because the very charter of SCO speaks of the cultural exchanges, information exchanges, and narrowing it down to the terrorism, and so that is very, very important for Pakistan. So it is a whole package. The question is, again I will end, that it is a test of our argument. It is a practical test of our political will, how we are able to cash on this opportunity, and or either we are going to be on a waiting list for how long.
Exactly. Viewers, we have had a very intense discussion on the SCO, what are the aspirations of Pakistan, and both our eminent panelists have concluded for us that it is very important for Pakistan to move up from the observer status to that of a full-fledged member. And also, we have found out that the very well-prepared and very knowledgeable panelists pointed out that it is mature diplomacy for Pakistan to be seeking membership and advantages of being on as many regional corporations that are available, so that end of the day, advantages constitute to Pakistan, we become friends to all and enemy to none. I would like to thank you, Dr. Tanveer Ahmad Khan and Shabana Fayaz, for your very cogent comments. Viewers, please send us your comments at defenseanddiplomacy@ptv.com.pk. See you next week, inshallah, with another episode. Allah Hafiz.